What's up, basketball fans? Welcome to part 2 of talking about a different NBA team. So, the way the series works is I spin the wheel of NBA teams. Whichever team it lands on, I take my takes on that team. So, the two teams that were not, if it lands on the Nuggets, since I already did them, I will change it. If it lands on the Sixers too, they're going to be the very last team. So, anyways, let's spin the wheel. The team that we land on right here is the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies. So, the Grizzlies have gone off to a strong start, beating the Clippers and the Cavaliers. The Cavs beat the Hawks. So anyways, the best Grizzly of all time, in my opinion, would be Marc Gasol, too soon to be Ja Morant. Morant is a freak of nature. But he had a very overrated dunk in the playoffs. Like, he didn't need to do that 360. But they have a pretty hard schedule to start off. I wouldn't be shocked if they lose this game. Because it's in LA. And the Lakers, they have gone off to a very bad start. But we're not here to talk about the Lakers. We're here to talk about the Grizzlies today. So, last year they made it to the playoffs from some miracle. Are they going to be title contenders? Well, that's a very, very interesting question. Well, if we look at the West, it's not as competitive as the Eastern Conference is. The Bulls are 3-0. It's really not, but the Bulls have a very easy schedule up until these games. Please lose, Bulls. But they have a pretty hard schedule. Like the Nuggets. Well, first question, are they going to be title contenders? The answer is no. They're going to be like the 9th seed, the 8th seed, or the 7th seed. But the West isn't as competitive, so I would expect them to be the 8th or 7th seed and then get eliminated in the first round. I think the Grizzlies, I'm not sure if Steven Adams is going to work. I think the Pelicans won the trade with Steven Adams going to the Grizzlies for Jonas Valanciunas. But we'll see how it works out. Let's see how Ja Morant has been playing. Steven Adams played well, but they also have this guy, Jaren Jackson Jr., who is good. Against the Ja Morant scored 37 points. So it looks like this team has a pretty balanced team. And if there would be a surprising team, that would be the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies' best player is obviously Ja Morant, in my opinion. But he has been playing really well. I know it's only 2 games, but if you start off the year with confidence, you either get overconfident or they either will get overconfident or they use that confidence to possibly get this spot. Let's also talk about something that we haven't talked about in the Denver video. But who's the best 3-point shooter on the Grizzlies? Oh, Google. In August, I used it a lot. Jaren Jackson Jr. 3-point percentage, please. Oh. Well, I guess so far, he's 60. I don't know. Well, we'll look at it from last year. Point percentage 2021. So that last year he wasn't a great 3-point shooter. What about Ja Morant? 30.3. Steven Adams. So that's their one weakness. They don't have really good 3-point shooters unless I mean, if they have Mike Scott, he's a really good 3-point shooter. Let's check out their roster. They probably have a better 3-point shooter, but I'm just too lazy not to search it up. Anyways, I don't like this video as much as the Denver video because the Grizzlies aren't as much of a popular team. But now it's time for the predictions. Against the Lakers, I'll go with an L. Against the Blazers, I'll go with a W. L. So, again, these two games, I think one of them is going to go to the Nuggets and the other is going to go to the Grizzlies. I think the Grizzlies will start off the year with like maybe 10 or 11 or 12 wins because they have a hard schedule to start off. But it does get easier until this Warriors game and the Nets. So January might be their toughest month. February, I'm not sure if it's going to be their toughest month. Well, the last game is against the Celtics, the Suns. So I think the Grizzlies' main weakness might be 3-point shooting. Their best player is Ja Morant. Their best passer is Ja Morant. Their best rebounder is Steven Adams. Now, let's talk about what the Grizzlies won with their trade with Steven Adams. Now, the Pelicans needed big men because their big men are short. Like, you might say, Zion is strong, I love Zion. Okay, you might love Zion, but if you actually Google his height, he's 6'6". Zion height. See? 6'6". This is a picture of Zion. He is 6'6". So, I think he is a strong power forward, but he's 6'6". So what the Grizzlies won is that they needed rebounding. They really needed rebounding. But they got it in Steven Adams. Well, let's check out Valanciunas' stats. That's 2021. Points per game. 2021. I'm searching of 2020. Come on. So last year he scored 17 points, and Steven Adams averaged 7.6, 8.9 boards. So I think the winner of the trade was the Pelicans. But talking about this, I think the Grizzlies have a good chance of beating these teams, because they have proven that they could beat a lot of teams away. Like, look, Grizzlies versus Bucks 2021. Like, look, they beat the Bucks 128 to 115 in Milwaukee. And if you might say, but how did Giannis play? There you go. Giannis scored 28 points, Lopez 17, Holiday 17, Brent Forbes 19, Pat Connaughton 7, PJ Tucker 5, Middleton 16, 10 assists. So it wasn't like the Bucks were just letting the Grizzlies win. So I think the Grizzlies have a really high chance of beating the Lakers, the Grizzlies, and possibly the Warriors. I think they're going to lose one of these games. They're going to lose the first one and win the second one. Well, Grizzlies fans, I hope you enjoyed this video. By the way, I'm not a Grizzlies fan at all. I'm a Sixers fan. And I'll see you in the next episode.